This is Zach. In today's video, we're going to go over the trading software. We're going to set it up on a new system, on a new Windows system. And in the meantime, we're going to go discuss what is Bybit, how do you use it? Because I know that some of you are really new to trading, you've never really actually put in a trade. So I'm going to go over the really basics for if you missed the technical analysis series that we did in Cryptonaires, just to make sure that everyone is on the same page and understands what we are trying to do here. In today's video, we'll only discuss some basic agent settings. Don't worry, there is more content to come, but try to understand the basics really well before we get into making more complex strategies or adjusting strategies. I installed Discord on here. Alright guys, so now we can see the trading software groups that we have in Cryptonaires. So the World Series of Trading announcement channel, what we want to do is install the dependencies. Okay, so we're going to set up the bot on our Windows device. In order to run the bot, you need a Windows device. Okay, so in this particular occasion, I have a VPS, so a virtual private server. That means that this system is hosted somewhere else, and I go into it using remote desktop. So on the back side, you can see my actual computer, and this is just a remote desktop. Okay, so a Windows system. Okay, so that might also be a great solution for some of you to run the bot 24/7 without having your own computer on. And here we have some dependencies that we will need in order to run the bot on Windows. Okay, so the first one is Python, the second one is Visual Studios. For those that wonder what do these links do, what do these programs do for us, the first one is for you to have Python on your computer. Okay, so our system is written in Python, and your system will require to understand Python in order to run the bot. The second one is for your computer to understand and compile C++, which is another language that we use for the bot. On this page, you want to scroll all the way down where you get the download files. And you can choose Windows if your system is 64 bits, which most of them are. The easiest way to download is choosing the web-based installer. Okay, so this is really important, guys. You need to do this correctly in order to run the software, and you have to click Add Python 3.7 to pod. Okay, if you forget to click this little button, your bot won't be able to run. Okay, so this is the most important thing and the thing that goes wrong most oftenly is that people don't click the Add Python 3.7 to pod. So make sure you click this little button, okay, and then you can go ahead and alright, so we give that a little bit of time to install, and we can go over to the second installation that we have to do, which is Visual Studios. Okay, so we can click the link and it will bring us to the page to download Visual Studios 2022. We will require the free download for the community version all the way at the top. So we press that and a download should automatically start. Okay, so we're going to open that file and let's have a look how far our Python is, which seems to be nearly installed. That's cool. Then we can start Visual Studios as well. Why not? Let's get it over with, right? So the installer started, there we go. And setup was successful. Well, disable path length, well, let's do that, right? Let's give Python all the room that it needs. So let's go here and close it. Alright, in the meantime, Visual Studios has loaded up. Okay, Visual Studios will allow you to download the following package, the desktop development with C++. Okay, so from all these tools, you only need the desktop development with C++. So we're going to click this, and then we're going to click install now. So as you can see, it's 9.4 gigs. Okay, so you need a decent computer for this, and we're going to find out why. It's a lot of trading that's happening, it's a lot of computing that's happening. Okay, so we're going to install this. And this will take a little bit of time, but it doesn't matter because we can do this on the background while we continue the process. Okay, so we have successfully installed Python, we have added it to our pod. That's finalized. Visual Studios is getting its thing done. That's fine. We don't need that to finalize before we can go ahead and download the bot. Okay, so that's the next thing. The bot folder is TESS 3.1 a zip folder. Okay, so we're gonna download this. It will tell you that it's potentially dangerous because, well, it's a software that we created on our own. So we're gonna continue to download it anyway. Alright, so we downloaded the folder, we're gonna open it, and next you wanna extract the folder. Okay, so extract it, and I like to do it just in the folder where it is. Just keep it simple, extract. Okay, it's gonna extract the folder, so open it up for us so that we can use it. There we go. We have an extracted folder. Let's make sure we go into the extracted folder. There we go. And, oh, clicked it away. This is the folder, this is the bot folder that we will be using. Okay, so it starts with the active tables. In the active tables, you can find the strategies that are preloaded into your bot. These strategies are not the greatest at all. They are just using percentage-based offsets and doing some dollar cost averaging. Okay, so you'll get new tables from me after you got yourself familiar with the basic tables. Okay, so you got 5 basic tables loaded up. The names kind of give away what they are supposed to do. Okay, so if you're slightly bearish, you go for berry. If you're slightly bullish, you go for bully. If you just want to long slightly, you go for long. If you just want to short slightly, you go for shorty. Okay, if you just want the bot to decide, you click the sideways one. All right. Okay, then we have the client, we don't have to do anything there. Dumps, we don't have to do anything there. The logs, this will print some log statements whenever the bot is running or whenever you have any issues. So if there is any issues, I might ask you to show me the log folder or to read them and see what is being printed as an issue. Okay, the source folder, we don't need anything there. The UI, we don't need anything there. Okay, so it's mainly the active tables. This is where the strategies are loaded up, and we're going to use that in a second. And to run the bot, we use this particular button here. We double click it and it will start the bot. So start TESS and UI. Okay, but in order for the software, which we just downloaded onto our computer, to understand which exchange it should trade on, we need to log on to Bybit and we need to get our API keys, right? So I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with Bybit and how to get your API keys, but let me show you guys quickly how you can do that. Let's have a look. Okay. In order to do that, you go to the top right corner and you click on API. Okay, all the way down you can click on API and you'll come to this page where you can create a new key. Okay, so you can create new API keys. In order for you to create API keys, you do not need any KYC, but what you do need is two-factor authenticator. So a Google two-factor authenticator, which will ensure you that you can't easily get hacked, right? So make sure to set up a Google 2FA, and if you've done that, it will allow you to create a new key. And if you create a new key, you will come to this particular page where you can pick a name for your API keys. It can be any random name. Okay, so you can just pick a random name, so random. Then you want to make sure it's read and write, because we're going to read your position and we're going to write new orders. Okay, and then the only thing you want to select is for contracts, orders, and positions. Okay, so for contracts, orders, and positions, the rest we want to leave it as it is. Okay, for IP access, we want to allow all IPs access to trade. Okay, so IP access, all IPs. Okay, just to make sure that those that are using VPNs and stuff like that, that won't be an issue. So put that on all IPs. Then you want to go to the top right corner again and click on submit, which then will ask for your two-factor authenticator. And if you fill that in, you will receive 2 codes. Okay, and those codes, you'll have to print them into your, or copy them into your config file. Okay, so this is the config file. You can open it with a notepad. Okay, so you choose for more and then you pick the notepad. Okay, so I right clicked it, opened it with, and then clicked on more, and then you can select the notepad. So if you open it with a notepad, it will give you the following text. And here you have to tell the bot which exchange to communicate with, right? So I cannot show you guys my public and private key, which you received from Bybit, the process which we just did, right? So you copy those two in these fields. So the shorter one in the shorter one and the longer one in the longer one. Okay, so if you copy those, the next thing you want to do is you want to fill in your email and your password. So what are these email and passwords for? This is for us to allow you access to trade with our software. Okay, so in order to do that, if you have received a message from me to join our trading bot group, please DM me an email address and a random password so that I can make an account for you, and those you can use and paste into these fields. Okay, so within the brackets, you leave the brackets as they are. Same counts for the key. You paste the key within the brackets and you leave the brackets there. Okay, make sure you do this very good, because otherwise you might run into issues and I might not be able to help you because you might have slightly messed up the structure of this config file. So just copy the fields in. The API keys, you get them from Bybit. The email and password, you can DM them to me if you have received a message to join the bot group, and then within an hour I will have the email and password activated for you. So if you then paste them in these two fields and you save this file, okay, then you can start using it, and your bot will understand which exchange to direct to. Okay, so I'm gonna fill this in on the side here, and then we can start looking at some trades. Okay. All right. So after I copied in my details, I clicked on save. Okay, so I've saved it in the same folder that it was in currently. So I just clicked on save, and now my settings are saved into the config file. So this software knows where to direct the trades towards. Okay, and the next thing we want to do is we want to allow the bot to install all the dependencies that it needs. Okay, let's make sure that this is finished. Well, it's not yet, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. Let's try our luck, and then you will know if that works as well. So we want to run the bot for the first time, and to do that, you click Start TESS and UI. Okay, so we double press, and we want to click on More Info because it's the first time we're running the software, and run anyway. Okay, so now it will start installing all the libraries that you will need in order to trade and for us to chart and give you the details and numbers basically. So we have a user interface and everything like that. All of the dependencies that you require are being installed currently. So we'll have that. We'll have to give that a little bit of time. And what you cannot do is click into this black command window because that will stop the process and it will create errors. So don't click into them. If you want to drag them away, do it at the top. Okay, so while that's doing its thing, we can have a look at what we're going over today as far as agent settings go. Okay, because some of you already did the installation, so yeah, you want to also learn something. So let's go a little bit into the agent setting, because I shared with some of you my sideways strategy that has been backtested on a lot of different market settings, and this sideways strategy consists of 213 agents. Okay, so you don't need to create them, you only need to know which fields to adjust in order to use that table. Okay, so in today's video we're going to explain how Bybit works, right, just for those that don't understand it yet, and then we're going to create a very simple bot strategy. Just very simple, 3 agents, not a 200 agent setting or strategy, just a 3 agent strategy based on what we want to do and what we want to show in this video. Okay, so let's first start with Bybit, and in the meantime, I think this is completed, so we can close that off. Yes, that's fine, and that is fine as well. Now let's have a look if this is done. Well, it's nearly done. Okay, so we'll just leave that for now. We want to go back over to Bybit, because what is our bot doing? what can you do on an exchange? You can buy and sell an asset. Okay, in this particular scenario, guys, we're going to only focus on Bitcoin, on the price of Bitcoin. You can buy and sell Bitcoin, okay, and you can put in orders at certain prices, okay, and putting in these orders in the order book will allow you to not have to pay fees, right? So on Bybit, this is the order book, which it says at the top. The order book consists of people trying to buy and sell Bitcoin, and they have to wait in line. Okay, so if you want to sell, you have to sell to the first person in line trying to buy, who has the highest bid up. Okay, so that's how the order book works. This is the recent trades. So this is actually what's being sold over the counter as we speak. Okay, so the most recent trade was a buy of $12. That means that the current mark price on Bybit will be displayed as the last recent trade. Okay, so that's something to take note of. Bybit will, the price of Bybit is basically the last trade that happened on the exchange. Okay, so the last buy or sell. So if someone is selling, then it will be the red side that will be displayed as the current market price. Okay, and if you want to be first in line, or let's put it differently, if you want to buy directly or you want to sell directly, you can only do that to the first buyer or the first seller in line. Okay, so you can buy directly, but if you want to buy directly, you will have to buy from this person, the first seller in line, at $30,289.50. Okay, so if you want to sell, you'll have to sell into the first buyer in the line. Okay, if you do that, you will be paying market fees. Okay, so on the right side, you can place your trades. Okay, a market trade means that you're selling into the first person in line, or you're buying from the first person in line. You're impatient, you just want to transact directly. A limit order means that you go into the order book and you wait for your turn. Okay, so you don't transact directly, so you don't have your Bitcoins directly, but you wait for your turn in the order book, and thereby you actually don't have to pay. So if you used my affiliate link and you place a limit order, you are not paying any fees because you waited in the order book before getting your orders filled. So you can place limit orders, and our bot will do that for us. And this is how you place limit orders on the exchange. So let's say we want to place a limit order. Okay, so this is the order book, and I can have increments of $0.50, or I can have increments of $5. Let's increase the increments, and then we can see a bigger order book, right? We can see up to 30,330, right? So what we want to do here is we want to place, for example, a buy at 30,235. So 235, there we go. And we want to buy $500 worth of Bitcoin, okay? A limit order, okay? And I always click post only. Post only means that if you made a typing mistake, then which might cause you to buy directly, which will affect your fees, right? You will be paying fees. This will stop you from placing orders that do not go into the order book. Okay, so this will allow you to only have a limit order. Okay, so there we go. We place the order, we click on confirm, and we see our order in the order book. Okay, so we can look at the chart on Bybit, and it will display our limit order of $500 at $30,235. Okay, in order to cancel the order, we can either cancel it here, okay, or we can look into our active orders and we can cancel it here. Okay, a market order would sell directly, right? So if we do $1 and we sell directly. Okay, I just sold $1, but you can't see it because there is a small open position here. So you can look here, $1 was sold at $30,331 using a market trade, right? And before that, it was a limit trade. So if we go to our orders, what is the difference between a market trade and a limit trade? It's basically the fees that you are paying, right? You want to buy directly, and therefore you have to pay fees. If you go into the order book, you are free of paying any charges for that particular entry. So let's give this a second to refresh. and we want to go over to Bitcoin and search for the trade history, and you can see the $5 limit order above, which was paying trading fees of 0, so literally 0, and then the one above was $1, which was paying commissions 0.06%, and that means that we paid 2 satoshis to buy $1 worth of Bitcoin. Okay, and in this scenario below, we bought $5 worth of Bitcoin, but we paid no fees. Right, so yeah, that's why you should use the affiliate link. That's why we're using the bot, so that we can pay 0 fees and do a lot of trading, a lot of limit orders in and out. Right, guys? So back to the exchange, there we go. We have limit and market covered. Then you have conditional order. Conditional order is basically telling the bot telling Bybit that at some point you want to take exposure off. So it's like a stop loss. So we won't get into that. It's just the basic. We covered the order book, we covered the recent trades. If you have an open position, okay, so I currently have an open position of 773 contracts, which means that I have $773 worth of Bitcoin at an entry price of $29,847.6. Okay, and the current price is $30,340. Right, and this is our quantity, right? 773, and that equals to an amount of 0.0258 Bitcoin. Right, so we can see all of our position details here. We can see our profits that we have currently ongoing on this position. We can see the profits that we have already logged in from trading. Let's say that we want to add to our position. Okay, so we add 5 contracts to this position using a market order. A market order will buy from the first person selling, so from this guy here. Okay, so we click buy, then we click confirm. Now we have 787 contracts long. Okay, so it just averaged those 5 contracts that we bought to our average position that we already have open. Okay, so in the same way, I can, for example, sell 15 contracts, and then we will see that we will sell to the first person buying at 345, and we will see that our quantity decreased to 763 contracts. Right, so this quantity decreased, and this slightly changed because we realized some profits by selling contracts at the top, and we have open profits, so those profits just move from this side to the daily realized side. Okay, because you can see that it's at 31.98 currently, and let's say I sell 100 contracts, then it will go up to 33.48. So I moved profits from my unrealized to my realized. And that's what the bot will be doing all day long, averaging in and out of positions, and thereby realizing new profits and a nice average entry. Okay, let's go back to our system, see how far it is. And as you can see, the bot is loaded up. Okay, so if you just give the bot some time, it will install the bot, but it will also load your first bot, which will tell you all bots are ready to go. So these 2 windows, guys, get familiar with them, because these are the 2 windows that will be open when your bots are running. Okay, so you want those to be open all the time. Okay, so the bots are ready to run. You don't want to click into the black windows, always drag them at the top side. Oh, I don't know what I did there. Okay, so what we want to do is go into the user interface, and if the bots are ready to go, you want to refresh data. Okay, so it opens this browser up for you automatically, and you want to refresh data, and then you want to pick the strategy that you want to run. So let's, in this scenario, go for shorting. Okay, so we want to short Bitcoin. Okay, so you can check in this particular window, you can check if your bots are started, and there we go. We see a lot of trades are being placed, so we can go over to our Bybit account and see what's happening, and there we go. We see a lot of DCA orders. Our strategy is basically initiated, and it started trading. Okay, so all these amounts are based on percentages of your account balance, and it has a certain strategy which we'll see playing out a little bit during this video. All right, so one of our orders got filled, no, 3 of them, and our exits have been placed. So as soon as we sold those same agents that sold are trying to buy back lower. Okay, so that's the strategy. Sell high, buy back lower in small fractions, and it will keep doing this. Okay, so the higher we go, and these are not the only things that will happen, right? The strategy is much more dynamic, but we'll get into that later on. I started my first bot right now during this video, so I think I'm going to keep this video short, and we got the bot running. There is a couple last things that I want to share with you guys. It's really important that your computer and your system time, so the time on your system, is on par with the actual time. So the way to get that fixed forever is to install the time sync tool. Okay, so in Google you look for time sync tool, and then this net time thingy. If you install this on your computer, it will make sure that your time is always running perfectly fine, and that you won't have your bot won't have issues with that, because putting in your trade just in time is really important in trading. So you just want to make sure that your time is always correct. Download. So just below the PayPal donate, you have the installer, and you can pick your favorite installer. So I would go for the most recent version, 3.20. Alpha 3, latest test version. Okay, and you can install this one, and it will keep your time up to date. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys don't witness any issues. If you do, please send them in the in our new group chat which we created in Cryptonaires. So the World Series of Trading WSOT groups. You can post your questions. If you have any issues, post them in here and we will get back to you. In the announcement channels, you can find the two links, right? So the bot folder and this. And don't forget to DM me an email and a password so that I can create a license for you in order to start your bots. Okay, so have a great day, and I'll get back to you soon with further details on how to create your own strategies and agents.